What is apartheid? Apartheid was the name of a system of racial discrimination unique to South Africa. The white Europeans imposed this system on South Africa. During the 17th and 18th centuries, the trading companies from Europe occupied it with arms and force in the way they occupied India. But unlike India, a large number of whites had settled in South Africa and became the local rulers. The system of apartheid divided the people and labeled them on the basis of their skin color. The native people of South Africa are black in color. They made up about three-fourths of the population and were called blacks. Besides these two groups, there were people of mixed races who were called colored and people who migrated from India. The white rulers treated all non-whites as inferiors. The non-whites did not have voting rights. The apartheid system was particularly oppressive for the blacks. They were forbidden from living in white areas. They could work in white areas only if they had a permit. Trains, buses, taxis, hotels, hospitals, schools and colleges, libraries, cinema halls, theaters, beaches, swimming pools, public toilets were all separate for the whites and blacks. This was called segregation. They could not even visit the churches where the whites worshipped. Blacks could not form associations or protest against the terrible treatment. Now let's see a short summary on the prison life of Nelson Mandela. Mandela spent the first 18 of his 27 years in jail at the brutal Robben Island prison. He was confined to a small cell without a bed or plumbing and was forced to do hard labor in a quarry. A typical day in the prison saw many inmates forced to do labor work in the island's limestone quarry from 7:30 a.m. to about 4 p.m. 7 days a week. Armed authorities stood guard on the boundaries of the quarry. To avoid them, prisoners including Mandela were forced to share buckets as a toilet inside a cave. The cave came to double as a learning center known among inmates as the Robben Island. Once a year, he was allowed to meet with a visitor for 30 minutes, and once every 6 months, he could write and receive a letter. At first, he was only allowed to exchange letters with his family, and these letters were read and censored by prison officials. Later, he was allowed to write to friends and associates, but any writing of a political nature was forbidden. With the help of fellow prisoners and his visitors, Mandela smuggled out statements and letters to spark the continuing anti apartheid movement. A 500-page autobiography, manually miniatured into 50 pages, was smuggled out by a departing prisoner in 1976. The original manuscript of the autobiography, buried in a garden, was discovered by the prison warden soon after. As punishment, Mandela and three others lost their study rights for 4 years. Through it all, Mandela's resolve remained unbroken and he led a movement of civil disobedience at the prison that coerced South African officials into drastically improving conditions on Robben Island. In 1982, he was moved to Pollsmoor prison on the mainland and in 1988 to a cottage where he lived under house arrest. Over the course of his life, Mandela was given over 250 awards, accolades, prizes, honorary degrees, and citizenships in recognition of his political achievement. Among his awards were the Nobel Peace Prize, the US Presidential Medal of Freedom, the Soviet Union's Lenin Peace Prize, and the Libya Al Gaddafi International Prize for Human Rights. In 1990, India awarded him the Bharat Ratna, and in 1992, Pakistan gave him the Nishani Pakistan, and many more.